Hello and welcome to another episode of Never Onside. Hi, this is Joseph, and joining me as usual is Mayur. And in this podcast, we'll be discussing in detail the two big matches that are coming up. The one of the title deciding matches for sure, between Arsenal and City, and also the Europa match between two giants, Manchester United and Barcelona. So we'll be previewing these matches ahead of the round which is happening today itself. Yeah. So let's get on to the Premier League matches which happened in the game week 23. And first of all, what do you notice, Mayur? Like, which matches and which teams do you watch?
So to start with, again, I was very excited to see Chelsea how they play against. But if you might have noticed, a few people said they played really well in some like times at some times and not. But more of it felt like just good quality players trying to link up with each other, and an outcome came, which was the Enzo pass and the Felix goal. But yeah, they still look disjointed. Considered a goal, and you can see there is no coordination. The players don't know well about each other, how they are
Right.
positioned and when to make those passes and everything. And overall, that game was interesting. I was excited to see all the talents like Mudrik, Felix back, Fernandez starting and everything. So I was excited. But yeah, it looked like a team who was made recently, like just all the players have just started to come in.
Yeah. So another interesting thing which happened after the match was that Mudrik had done something controversial. Apparently, he liked a meme saying that uh, Chelsea need a new left back because Cucurella throughout the game was not passing the ball to him, and apparently they had a dispute after that. So that is something which will be interesting for the fact that two players who are like very expensive, and I don't think Potter can make do without any of those players. And Felix and his class showed, like, after the game. I think Reset told, I think BT Sports or somewhere, that within the 10-15 minutes of the start of the game, he understood the quality that Felix had, and like you had to be on top of your game, like on top uh, form, to be able to live with him on the pitch. So that is something interesting which I'm sure everyone would be looking forward to see. And Arsenal dropping points again against Brentford, they were lucky to get away with a point, I suppose. Like, Brentford had 3-4 great chances which they should have converted. And yeah, Arsenal also, speaking from the other side, the Brentford goal should have been disallowed for offside as well. So that is something which is very crucial. um, and Arsenal have kind of a blip in form right now. And moving forward, Leicester versus Spurs, another game that surprised us all. Leicester are so good in certain spells against certain teams, and they showed us again. And they were rampant throughout the match, and they completely dominated Spurs. Yeah. So, what else do we need to discuss in this
Yes.
game week
Yes.
23?
Nacho coming in well. Like he has started the last two games, and Leicester have showed form and scored a lot of goals, and he has been in the center of a lot of those goals and
Yeah.
assists as well. So, and we have seen Spurs, they are fragile. Yesterday, in the Champions League game as well,
Yeah.
they allowed two or three chances to for AC Milan and barely played. But yeah, that was Leicester game. And the VAR point, as you mentioned, are in the Brentford game and Chelsea game as well. There was a tweet, West Ham, Chelsea tweeting that a good
The
save from
Sosek handball.
Suchek
Yeah, right,
handball.
right. Which was very
So
controversial, right? Like, it should have been a penalty.
yes, it looked like a penalty, and the major rule which we know is however you touch hand inside the box, it's
Right.
generally given a penalty. So it was difficult to understand how it was, and we are making two or three mistakes in the same week.
Weak, right.
Was very interesting to see, and they came out. I heard in a lot of reports that the organization of referee who is supposed to
Yeah.
lead, they came out and apologized to
Apologize.
both the clubs,
Yeah, right.
stating that it was a clear mistake and hopefully it can be come out
Right.
with. So yes,
So moving on to the Sunday matches, Leeds versus United. United looked really out of sort without Casemiro, without Ericsson, and we'll be discussing more about United later. But I think we were lucky that we have Rashford at the right place at the right time. He looks like a person reborn, and our hopes lie in this talisman that we have right now. And yeah, so Leeds started the game really well. We were never in the game until the goal went in. Yeah, so United without Casemiro and Ericsson will struggle if they keep playing Sabitzer and Fred
Fred.
together. Yeah, and also City 3-1. I think Aston Villa scored initially, and then
Yes,
City scored back. I'm not
came, but
exact. No,
uh,
no, no. I think
they
City
sco-
scored. City scored.
they were 3-0 up, and then Aston Villa
Yeah,
scored.
right, right.
But the interesting point was, we have seen Pep using fullbacks as inverted fullbacks and then coming,
Right.
but this match he scrapped playing a
Right,
fullback
right. He
only.
took it to the next level by playing a number, almost a number 10 in the left back slot. And also, another controversial issue was the penalty taker issue that Pep was asked in the press conference, why did Mahrez take the penalty? He had no clue. He was like, Erling Haaland is the designated penalty taker, but he had no clue why Mahrez took it. But good for everyone who owned the Mahrez, though,
Yes.
in
Probably
FPL.
what we are hearing is there was some kind of injury or something, but still doesn't. And I can't understand why the fact. And Rodri also
I have
wanted to
no
take
clue
a
why Rodri
penalty.
was there.
Yes,
Right.
Rodri was in full form that day. I guess he wanted to score a hat trick or something, and he was
And he was named the player of the match at Etihad also, like by the fans. Yeah,
so
moving on to the
interesting.
Liverpool match. Yeah,
Yes.
moving on to the Liverpool match, the derby, Merseyside derby, and Liverpool won 2-0. It was kind of a comprehensive win, right? They were showing what they were made of. Eventually, it took the like the Merseyside derby for them to show that they still have got it, and it looked like a proper Klopp performance with Salah scoring, and yeah, so it was a
Yes.
good one, right?
The important part being Gakpo played as at number 10. He did kind of things which generally Firmino does in that side. Drop deep, play those balls on the wings where two wingers who are pacey run at other side. And like we saw in the first goal, Nunes played a very good pass into Salah and Salah scored.
Yeah, right,
So yeah, there were some instances I guess Klopp might have now understood that he can play Gakpo in that position, and hopefully it might come out as a good result for them
right.
in their struggle.
Well, now the blockbuster match, the clash, the summit clash between Arsenal and Man City, which will be happening tonight, and all eyes are set on this match because we know this is the two teams who are like in top form, who have the capability to land the punch which can knock each other out. And I'm not sure who is going to come out with a win, but Arsenal seem to have died down in terms of the momentum that they had initially, especially in the last 2 3 games. They have really struggled to create chances and to also control the games which they used to do prior to this. City were really bad coming into the last 2 3 game weeks, but then they put on the afterburners and started scoring. So it's going to be a tough match, and it's going to be tight, and I'm sure it's going to be entertaining, right?
Yes, and we have seen both the teams struggling, and we know how those teams can be made struggle. Like we saw Brentford, Tony winning all those headers, and
Right.
the Brentford players coming in winning the second ball, which and we saw Saliba lacking a bit of
Yeah, yeah, right, right,
power and domination which he generally gives. He couldn't win those aerial balls, and we saw how they struggled. And on the other hand, we saw when Spurs pressed City man to man, and we have seen City struggle there as well in the game week 21. So we know both the teams know how they can be like vulnerable on certain occasions, and who comes out better and who can push the button on the other team. It will be interesting to see
right.
because we
It
know
will
both the
be,
managers
yeah,
are
right. It will be interesting to see will Arteta or Pep try to change the style of play that they have adopted, because the Arsenal can't afford to lose this game for sure. um, because they are losing momentum fast, and if they can win this match, then they can put some space between them and City, and that will bring much more confidence for Arsenal players as well. So interesting to see if Trossard will play a key role here, since he came on and scored in the Brentford game. And Man City, the I think Ake will come back to the left back spot, and yeah, so De Bruyne holds a key here in terms of, if he is playing, City create a lot more chances and he controls the game a lot more. We saw against Tottenham how City struggled without him. Yeah, so let's move on to the next